Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. Help me, Rome, today. What do you send me here? All right. It says, hello, Rome. Please. Hello. Please, Rome. Please help. The guy I'm seeing for a year told me we need to slow down. What does that mean? Is it over? Is he cheating? What's going on? Well, I don't know. You're not really giving me a whole lot of information, or have you become clingy? And what do you expect? What's been going on? Well, I don't know. I mean, is it you? Is it him? Could be all of those things. I mean, are you pushing for something more after a year? Are you being aggressively, trying to move forward? With what? Moving in together, getting married, boyfriend, girl. What are you trying to do? So is it you? I don't know what moving too fast means, So you're going to have to give me a little more information. If I was just going to guess, okay? And this is just because the cynical nature of Bakersfield, it's probably over, and he probably met somebody that he wants to see. He probably met somebody else that he wants to give it a shot. He doesn't really want to be a jackass and cheat on you. He's probably I'm going to guess that's probably what's going on. Because I don't know, unless you are doing something that he believes is moving too fast for the relationship. And without knowing him and without knowing you, I can only answer the question about he's probably met somebody else and he wants to date them without feeling like he's cheating on you. Okay? I'm just guessing that. Unless you want to give me more information. Where's the relationship at today? You live together, you live separately. Have you been pushing him to do something like move in together, or what's the relationship status today? How's it working? Already 42547-7. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. All right, so this whole conversation says, hey, Rome, help me out here. She says, the guy I'm seeing for over a year, told me we need to slow down. What does that mean? Is it over? Is he cheating? What's going on? So here, she actually called me. Now, she didn't want to go on the radio with me, but she did give me a little more information, and she'd like to know what you think about this. Now, he's a 40-year-old man, okay? They've met each other's, everybody important in their life, they've met, okay? Like kids, family, moms, dads, whatever, right? So they've intertwined their families with their relationship to some extent. At least they've met them. Now, she says she got a screenshot of him DMing some woman, liking some other girl's pictures, DMing some woman, and it wasn't as explicit as you would have thought it was, but it kind of looked like, he was seeing how far he can get with this chick, talk to her. And then, so she called him on it. He thought it was upsetting. They got in a little, tiff about it, argument about it, whatever. Now, he said he needed some time, lasted a couple of weeks. They got together. I guess he's kind of leading her on one way or the other. He'll say, hey, I miss you one day. And then 5 minutes later say, we need to slow things down. So, I forgot to ask her if it didn't sound like he lived in the same town. It doesn't sound like they live here. They live in the same town, but I forgot to ask her that. So what's going on? When a guy tells you he wants to slow down, what's going on? Already 42547-7. Now, is a year really a long time? That's one of the things I think we really have to think about. Is a year, how long is a year in a relationship period? 2-3 years? Okay, but how long is a year? So after a year of dating someone, if they tell you want to slow down, what does that mean? Already 42547-7. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. 94.1, the Rhythm of the Valley. It's Romeo. All right, so this poor lady, man, she sent me this talking about, hey, help me out, Rome. This guy I'm seeing for a year told me we need to slow down. What does he mean by that? Is it over? Is he cheating? What's going on? She just don't really have any answers. But I mean, what's going on? Now, apparently they've met each other's families, so they've kind of been putting in the work to see each other for the year. But then he just kind of flip-flop. Oh, he lives up in Tehachapi. She lives in Bakersfield. Yeah, see, that's probably one of the biggest problems. Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, Ron, that means that he wants his options open.
Well, and I just found out that he lives in Tehachapi. She lives in Bakersfield. So, yeah, I think there's options that might be opening up for him.
Yeah, you know what it is? He's probably like, well, you know what? I can't get nothing over here, so let me go over there.
Yeah, exactly. But once he's able to get something over there, he won't want to come here. I think it's one of those things. Yeah.
Time to move on, bro.
Yeah, I think it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough going. There's
more fish out there in the sea.
All right, thanks for calling.
Have a great day.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that. Now that I know Tehachapi and Bakersfield isn't that far away, but it's pretty far away at midnight when you want to hook up. You know, I mean, I don't think I can discount the fact. Like that guy just said. He ain't got no options in Tehachapi right now, so he's got to go to Bakersfield. But I think if options open up in Tehachapi, I think that changes everything. Yeah. Hey, Rome, what it means is she's too clingy or overpossessive or just doing it for him in the bedroom. Maybe she comes across like that, but I talked to her. She called me. She didn't want to go on the radio, but I talked to her. She didn't seem too clingy. She didn't seem too possessive. She just seemed like she was paying attention. Like he had some DMs that he was talking to some women. You know, he liked some women's pictures on social media. So, I mean, she approached him about that. But any woman who's in a relationship for over a year approach a guy about what he's doing on social media? 34254-7-7. I think it's the city, the distance is what I think. I think that last guy's right. It's out at 4.1. Out at 4.1, the Rhythm of the Valley. It's Romeo. All right, here. Oh, back to the lady who said, "Hey, Rome, please help me. The guy I'm seeing for over a year told me we need to slow down." What does that mean? Is it over? Is he cheating? What's going on? And we found out that they live in different towns. He lives in Tehachapi. She lives here. They've had a little issues. He's been DMing other women or DM'd another woman. And, I think what it's coming down to is really that they live in different towns. He doesn't have anybody up in Tehachapi. So he's in Bakersfield. He's got her and he's kind of stringing her along till he finds somebody. But they met each other's families. They've been together over a year. I mean, do you slow down after a year? What does that mean? 34254-7-7. Hey, Rome, the writing's on the wall. She needs to move on from this relationship. This guy has his eyes on someone new and only misses her when he wants to get some. Have a good day, Rome. That sounds plausible. Sounds like that could be the deal, right? 34254-7-7. What do you get? What do you think? What happens when somebody tells you they want to slow down after a year of dating? You've met everybody's family members. I mean, what does that mean? Romeo, it's out at 4.1. Out at 4.1, the Rhythm of the Valley. It's Romeo. All right, so this girl called, lady called. She was talking about how she knew this guy. She's been seeing him for a year. He says they need to slow down. What does that mean? Is it over? Is he cheating? What's going on? Now, just a little insight, a couple of things she told me. They live in separate cities, Tehachapi and Bakersfield. He has liked some women on social media. He may even texted one of them where she got a screenshot from a friend of hers who saw it. She called him on it, wanted to know what was going on. She actually sent me a screenshot. Says, "Miss you lots. Send me a picture at the gym if you want. Going to bed. I'm so sleepy now. Have a good workout. Handsome man, my crush, whatever." He says, "Okay, we'll slow down a little bit." What? Yeah, I don't know that one. That's a weird text chain right there for whatever that is. So anyway, they met each other's families. A year is a while to be dating somebody. A year is a year a while to be dating somebody? Do you have enough investment in a year of dating someone to, if you've met the families, if you've hung out enough, if you've gone everywhere together, gone places together? I mean, is a year enough of an investment to where when you tell somebody we're moving too quickly, we need to slow down? What's going on there? She wants to know. 842-547-7. Romeo, you need to tell her to move on. That's too many red flags. That's an immediate red flag if he says slow down after a year. You need to tell her to move on. I mean, it's okay. Sounds to me more and more like he wants somebody closer to where he lives, but he can't find anybody, so he's kind of stringing her along, right? Am I right or wrong about that? What do you guys got? 842-547-7. And that wasn't my opinion. Somebody else brought that up. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. Already 842-547-7. Yo, Rome. How old is she? I don't know. That is a good question. Yeah, Rome, he never took her seriously. If he's telling her to slow down just like that, and even off the text, or he just responds, okay, he probably just used it for 1 year. I was probably dating around, messing around. I was probably dating around, messing around, and finally found the one, and he's pushing her away. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, makes sense, right? Already 42547-7. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley is Romeo. Already 42547-7. Well, this is a funny question, or funny statement. Hey, good morning, Romeo. Everyone comes to you like Dear Abby, the romance columnist from back in the day. Well, they do, because we talk about it. Here's why. I'm going to tell you how this started. It started years and years ago, because one thing you find out living in Bakersfield is whatever you're going through, you're not the only one going through it. And we've learned that from decades of doing this show. And two, I can tell you the truth because I'm not trying to sleep with you. That is the biggest key that a lot of people don't understand when it comes to this show is, a lot of people used to get mad at me or still get mad at me. Oh, you said this about woman, or you told that woman that. Well, of course I can say those things. So I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest. And I'm not trying to sleep with you. So I can be honest about everything I say because I'm not trying to have sex with you. You know how many times your husband, your partner, a man lies to you because they're trying to have sex with you. No, you're not annoying. No, you look great in those jeans. No, about whatever. No, you don't talk too much. No, you don't whatever. Because they're trying to sleep with you. So, of course, I'm going to be honest with you. And not only that, you have the rest of Bakersfield to chime in and help you with your problem. So, yeah, I agree with you. Dear Abby, that's honey, though. But, yeah, that's why we do it. RD42547-7. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. All right. Hey, Rome, I'm going to tell you about this girl I met. She's talking about owning her own house. You were talking about it the other day, about how rare it was for a woman to own her own home. Well, it wasn't exactly what I said. A guy had texted in and said, in Bakersfield, it is rare to, we were talking about some guy who was living in a trailer in a trailer park. Some woman judged him, right? And somebody texted and said that women shouldn't be judging because it's rare in Bakersfield to find a single woman that owns her own home. And I didn't say it was rare, but if you think about it, I kind of made a joke about the fact that it might be rare because a lot of these women have a home because of an ex-husband who cheated on him and they got the house, okay? So that's probably more. Yeah, that probably happens more than in Bakersfield than women just owning their own home outright. But wouldn't say it's rare. Okay, hold on. Romeo, I heard you talking about how rare it is for a woman to own her home. Well, I met a woman a couple of months ago. She said she owns her own home, and it's a nice place. I've been dating her. Well, come to find out, she's going through a divorce, and she's getting the home in the divorce. So does that mean she owns her own home? Well, yeah. Why? She owns it, right? It's her house, whether she got it in the divorce or not. I mean, it's still her house, but there's probably more women in Bakersfield that have gotten a house in a divorce than there are women in Bakersfield that have went out and bought their own home. So I would say that, yeah. But I guess it's still her home. So what the problem is, do you have? I'm guessing since you texted me that you have a problem with it, right? If a woman can have a problem going home with a guy who lives in a trailer, then I guess a guy can have a problem with dating a woman who is living in her ex-husband's home. Maybe. RD42547. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the Rhythm of the Valley. It's Romeo, RD42547. Hey, Rome, you were talking about women owning their own homes and over there running around like they're doing something when they got their house in a divorce. I know 4 or 5 women like that, and they think they're all bad A because they own their own homes, but the reality was their ex-husbands gave them the homes in the divorce. So do they really own their own homes? Yeah, they own their own homes, right? I mean, I don't know. They live in it. They own it. I mean, really? RD42547. Hey, Rome, I could never date a woman or marry a woman who lives in her ex-husband's house. Do you know how disgusting that is? No. I mean, what? I don't understand what the problem is. This whole thing started the other day when some woman texted about meeting a guy, going back to his place. He lived in a motorhome or a trailer in a trailer park, right? So she couldn't go through with it. And now, I guess the male version of that is what? You guys can't, date a woman who's living in her ex-husband's house or their house? I mean, is that not weird? What's the problem? RD42547. You got to live somewhere, right? All right, 842-547-7. Hey, Rome, let me tell you a story. I started dating a divorcee, and when it came time for us to get serious together, she was living in the house that her and her ex-husband owned, and I was living in my own house. The house that she had was nicer than mine. So we moved in together in her house. So I don't understand why these guys are acting like that. It's no big deal. She had a nicer house than me in a nicer neighborhood. So now we live together there now. Okay. Well, fair enough. I mean, yeah, I don't see what the problem is. I guess egos and arrogance. You guys can't take it, especially in Bakersfield. Let's see. Hey, Romeo, how you doing? Doing great. It is rare for a woman to get her own home in her own merit. My little sisters are an exception. They bought a home together and lived there. They're not your typical self-absorbed, uptight, abrasive bimbos. They're warm-hearted and critical thinking. Any rich bachelor want a good woman. My man, pimping out his sisters. All right. That's a good brother right there, right? It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the Rhythm of the Valley. It's Romeo women. Speaking of women, someone texted me this, 842-547-7. Hey, Romeo, speaking of women who scored big from their ex-husbands, I love Jennifer Tilly, but to her credit, Jennifer Tilly is a warm-hearted and took care of her ex till the day he died. But listen, Home Depot is selling Tiffany Valentine dolls. You know the Bride of Chucky, which is the character Tilly plays. Oh, for Halloween. Now, I hate Halloween. I think it's for weirdos and creeps and for the murderers to ring your doorbell and stab you in disgust. However, I really want the Tiffany Valentine doll. Should I get it and have Jennifer Tilly autograph it? Yeah, that's a great character. One of the classic characters of all time. Hey, Romeo, I know where she lives. Do you think I can just walk up to her door and knock? Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Can you imagine a personal conversation and autograph right there on her doorstep? Or should I mail it to her and ask her to return it with an autograph? Can you imagine instead of the Tiffany doll to have Chucky's name on her cleavage to have Jennifer Tilly's autograph? Oh, I wonder. I would live, die, and live again. That's funny. That's funny. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valleys. Romeo, would you text me? I guess I'm just going through text messages right now. Hey, Rome, unfortunately, people are not equal opportunity employers. Employees want women because they think they're going to be more nurturing and understanding. Women in the workplace are usually uptight and tense, can't solve problems. They always punt issues to men. Oh, okay. Even women in management. Anyway, I say all that to say it's kind of isn't all that far-fetched to think a woman got a home on her own terms, since employers seem to favor women, which I think is backwards and destructive. Well, I mean, I see what you're saying there. That makes a whole lot of sense. Your logic behind it's just, what do you think? I mean, honestly, what do you think? And the conversation all started because somebody told me the other day that's really rare in Bakersfield to meet a woman who owns her own home, but bought it on her own merit, right? I think most women that have homes in Bakersfield, well, I shouldn't say most women. I think more women that have their own homes in Bakersfield got them in a divorce or a breakup, which is a divorce, basically, more so than women just going out and buying a home. Okay? But that doesn't mean it's rare, right? RD 42547-7. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. Hey, good morning, Rome. Happy hump day. Just heard a commercial about connecting to Alexa to listen to Hot 94.1. I can't seem to connect with my Alexa. Does Alexa not support the station anymore? Listening now from my phone in Sacramento. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know much about the Alexa app or how that works. So I wish I had an answer for you. But if your phone connects to your car, I would just listen on the app. That's how everybody listens anyways, right? I'm sure. I don't know. That's a good question. I'll have to ask around and find out for you. All right. RD 42547-7. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. RD 42547-7. Hey, good morning, Romeo. It's Paulina. Alexa absolutely connects you to 94.1. Listen to you on her every day. Just tell the guy to make sure he has a zip code to Kern County. Oh, maybe that's why it won't connect, because his Alexa is connected to a different zip code, because he said he was in Sacramento, right? Well, there you go. All right. Although I don't know how that works, but maybe that's it. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Rome. It's me, Angel.
Angel, what's going on, man?
Hey, man, I got something to say. So last night, me and my wife, we went to go see that new scary movie, the Conjuring, some devil movie, right?
Oh, The Conjurer?
Yeah, and we sat, and now there's assigned seating.
Yep.
So we sat down, and little shorty or some little baddie sitting next to me, and I'm thinking, like, why wouldn't her man switch, right? Like, I don't want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And old boy got up and went to the bathroom.
Well, wait.
I ended up holding two different hands, man.
Oh, so Angel, what is Angel?
We got up and left, man. And don't leave your girl alone in a scary movie, man.
Angel, first of all, don't know. You look crazy, man. In a scary movie, ain't no man gonna sit next to you. And second of all,
Skippy, see, Rob, you're right, man. Hey, little short. Hey, after the end of they had like a little the exorcist part.
Yeah.
And she just looked at me and smiled. Man, she almost broke my hand, Rob. All right, Rob, you have a good one, man.
First of all, Angel do make a good point, though, huh? If you sit next to somebody in a movie, do you let your girl? I mean, but first of all, ain't no dude gonna sit next to Angel because Angel look crazy. Second of all, you know how dudes are in Bakersfield. They a little insecure with themselves, anyways. All right, 842-547-7. It's Romeo outside 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo, R842-547-7. What'd you send me here? Rome, what do you think of Hailey Bieber marrying for money? Now she's much richer than the old Biebs. If they get divorced, he's going to leave with a payday of his life. Did she marry him for money? Is that what I know the Biebs had some money, but did she really marry him for money? Is that how that went down? I'm not sure about that. RD42547-7. She makes a lot of money, but didn't he just get a bunch of money for his royalty rights or something? I mean, what's the difference? All right. Yeah. And just so you know, I don't have a problem with women marrying for money, okay? There are some women out there that want to take on the corporate world and be CEOs and run businesses and, you know, have and make their own paycheck. And there are some women out there that don't. And there's nothing wrong with either one of them. All right? RD42547-7. In fact, the smarter play seems to be marry for money so you don't have to do as much. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo, RD42547-7. Hey, Rome, did you just say it's okay for women to marry for money so you don't mind gold diggers then, huh? Well, first of all, you don't know the definition of a gold digger. Second of all, you don't know, you assume that all women that marry for money are what, being conniving? Don't understand that, you know, marrying for money doesn't make you a gold digger. It makes you probably smart, right? You don't have to deal with a bunch of jackasses at work or idiots all day long. You get to hang out with your friends and do what you want. I mean, some guys want a woman that stays at home. Some guys have no problem taking care of a woman and paying all their bills and letting them do what they want to do. I mean, just because you're not that person, you either don't make enough money or you don't know how to handle that situation. I know plenty of guys that I have plenty of friends that want the woman that they're with to work and they're all cheap asses, you know? They feel like they're being taken advantage of. What kind of man does that make you if you're so insecure with yourself and you're so insecure with your feelings and your relationship that you think a woman has to put in on this for her to what? Not be a gold digger? Not be taking advantage of you? I mean, that's just kind of a sad mentality if you really think about it. RD42547-7. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valleys. Romeo, RD42547-7. Rome, it's a little unethical to marry for money, but money makes you fall in love, makes you tolerate things otherwise you won't. The one thing, though, you have to be his trophy wife and be okay with that. You can't be a user. You can't exploit him or family once you get that marriage license. I've dated many wealthy men, and unlike these basic hoes over here, I took care of my man emotionally and was typically a housewife happily. Because with a man like that, yes, baby, I'll do whatever you want with bells on. Well, I mean, there is some validity to knowing what you have to do. I mean, but you say a little unethical, but let me ask you this, okay? Women out there, let me ask some of you women this. Any of you women that married a man who has, who's come up and made it financially, like I'm not talking real money, real financial money. Did you know that was going to happen? There's a lot of women out there that will get with a guy and, they both don't have anything. So they kind of work together to get it, and then the man blows up, and now she's rich, right? Did you know he had the potential before when you married him and he was nothing or he was broke? Because there's a lot of times that happens. But if you're just a woman who wants to marry a rich guy, like this person who texted me said, yeah, there's some things that come along with that. You might have to be a trophy wife. You might have to stay fit. You might have to, accept a few things that maybe you don't want to accept for that lifestyle. But you know what you're getting into. And if that is better for you than going to work every day, then what's wrong with that? It's not unethical. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything. There's pros and cons to going to work. There's pros and cons to staying home. I mean, there's pros and cons to what you want. If you want to marry a millionaire, you're probably going to have to accept a few things as his wife. Like you may have to go to work every day. Go work out every day. You may have to do some things that you don't want to, that maybe in the bedroom or things that, not that you don't want to do, but things that you don't have to do if you're in a relationship with a man who both of you go to work. If you both go to work, the dynamic in the household is very different. No, but he can't dictate the same that a millionaire can dictate to his stay-at-home wife. It's just the way the world works. And some women are okay with that. Some women aren't. It's just like marrying you guys probably don't know. I don't know how many of you know really successful women. There are a lot of women running around Bakersfield who got businesses and they're doing fine. They're making decent money and they're their own bosses and they've accomplished something. And it's a success. But how many of you truly know a woman with power? I know a couple of women who were CEOs of banks. I know a judge. I knew real high-powered attorneys. And it's a different dynamic if you want to date them. It's Romeo outside 94.1. 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo, already 42547 Rome. When it comes to marrying for money, it's unethical to only look for money. My man has to have several characteristics. Money is one of them. Trust money makes you want to do things you normally would say no to. Well, but that's the point. That's my point on if you're a woman, let's just say you're somebody who wants to marry for money, okay? And that's you're just tired. You're tired of the struggle. You don't want to work. You want to have a nice house. You want to drive a nice car. You want to do, you want to live this life with a little, I would say little to no stress if I'm comparing it to going to work every day. Okay. So there are things, you're right. You may have to do things you may not normally do. You may have to go to the gym and eat a certain way and look a certain way. But that's the cost of doing business. How many of you women are going to work right now for money for a boss you don't like because, well, you got to pay bills? There's a cost to doing business, There are some things you accept every day in your life at work because you have to pay bills. Well, if you're going to be marry for money and stay at home and have somebody take care of you, there are going to be things that you may have to do. What's the difference? Alrighty, 42547. Hey, good morning, Romeo. It's Paulina. Yes, 100%. There's a man out here. There's a man out here that have that potential, that have that ambition, that drive, but it's up to the man to fulfill that potential. Well, I agree with that. I just wonder sometimes if you women know that. Oh, here you go, Romeo. This is a topic Paulina can probably give her 2 cents on. Well, she just did. But the point is, did you know that before? How many of you women are living the sweet life right now who married a broke man and then he came up and made it? Did you know that in him? A lot of women will say, well, he wouldn't have made it without me, which I don't know about all that. But he probably would have made it with or without you. But I'm just saying, did you know that? Did you lock him down broke knowing that he had potential? And it came through. Now, This is why I say that. Because there are those of you women out there that will go, well, I got with him before he had money. Okay? And then you'll look at a woman who gets with a man after he has money, and you feel like you're better than her, when the reality is you're not. You're both just with men that have money. So that's why I make that statement. All right, 842-547-7. But there's nothing wrong with marrying for money, you know? Nothing wrong with it. A rich man knows what he's getting into. A rich man knows what he wants. And if you want that lifestyle, you're going to have to accept some things. Or you're going to have to do some things maybe you wouldn't normally do if you had a little more say in your house because you went to work every day. All right, 842-547-7. It's Romeo outside 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. Hey, Rome. We're talking about marrying for money. Hey, Rome, my older sister's a big boss for a huge company and makes amazing money, but her love life is down the drain. It's unnatural for a man to be attracted to that. I encourage women to work and get educated to be more well-rounded, but when it comes to relationships, you got to be a woman and be supportive to your leader. Oh my God. I'm only sharing what works for me. But again, relationships are so complex. For instance, people stay with cheaters because they might not want to break up the family. I know another Judy, who's rich art dealer man cheats on her left and right, and she stays with him because where is he going to go? She doesn't want to give up the lifestyle, whatever works in a relationship. Well, that's absolutely true. You're absolutely right about that. Sometimes it is whatever you're willing to put up with to live that lifestyle. And it is what it is. But if that's what you choose, then that's what you do. I will say something about your sister, though. I'm going to tell you why your sister is having so many problems with men. And I won't say it's because how did you put it? You got to be the woman and be supportive to your leader. Well, I wouldn't say that. But what I will say is very successful rich women have worked very hard to get to their position. And most of them wear their resume, as a badge of honor. So their life is their resume. They don't know how to turn it on and off. There's men like this. You guys have all seen these men, these men, these rich men in Bakersfield. They get together and all they do is talk business. That's all they do. Their arrogance and their power tripping and ego tripping and talking business all the time. You guys have seen it, right? Well, for a woman to do that, she just becomes the same. It becomes the same thing, and it's a turnoff for men. So she has to find some loser with no job that will just accept everything she can, everything she does, right? And he has no say. It works both ways. All right, 842-547-7. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. So marrying for money, right? Says, no, yeah, Rome, you'd be motivated to do things normally wouldn't do, and you'd happily do it, but you got to be a good person and beautiful on the inside too, because a rich man won't tolerate crap. You get uptight and have a tone in your voice, he'd drop you so fast it's not even funny. You gotta be posh, something of an I don't know that word. And really meet him where he is at. Otherwise, he won't even entertain you for the night. Oh, I see. When you meet him, you got to meet him on his level where he's at. Yeah, I agree with all that. But if that's what you want, then, it is what it is. Some women want to work. Some women want to be taken care of, Both have downsides to them. Already 42547-7, Rome. I've been married 19 years, and I wish I would have took into consideration his financial standing when I met him. We're financially stable now, but had nothing when we first started dating. Well, yeah, everybody says, that whole thing about, money, money, what's the saying? Money and love or something. I can't remember what the saying is, but no. Broke people are not happy. And you could say you are all day long. Money makes you happy. And it might not be, and I'm not talking about money for you want to go buy a Ferrari. I'm talking about being stable enough to have all your bills paid every month and have stuff left over in case something goes down and just feel comfortable in your life financially, you know? Now, this text message right here says, hey, Rome, I would never let a man tell me what to do, whether he made more money than me or not. Well, that's not true. Okay, first of all, you would, okay? And second of all, does your man tell you what to do now? I'm sure there's something he tells you when you listen. Both in a marriage, I'm sure in every marriage listening right now, your husband has told you to do something and you've told your husband to do something and he's done it. Just because you don't say it in those terms, you talk it about as compromise, okay? That makes you feel bitter about yourself when you say, oh, we compromise. No, it's one of you telling the other one what to do. And second of all, you don't know what rich is, okay? If you're going to sit here and say, I would never let some man tell me what to do no matter how much money he had, you don't know what that kind of money is like. You and I cannot have conversations about real money. You know, I'm never going to make real money. I know rich people. I know rich people that do whatever they want on a level that we can't even consider. You know? And you think Jeff Bezos that's billionaire status. I mean, obviously I don't know any billionaires, but I know millionaires. Do you know millionaires? Do you know 100 millionaires? Do you know tens of millionaires? I mean, when you're talking about money on a level where you can absolutely do whatever you want without thinking about it, yeah, you'll listen to him. I guarantee you would listen to him. And he could tell you some things. And you'd accept it. Like the person said, you do things that you normally wouldn't do for that lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that you can't even imagine. All right, 842-547-7. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. All right, marrying for money, right? Somebody just sent me another text message, said, Rome, I would never let a man tell me what to do. Well, here's what you're feeling. When I say, or somebody had texted and said, you'll do things you normally wouldn't do with a rich man, all right? I'm not saying, when I say it, I'm not saying he's going to be some sort of dictator that makes you do things that are negative or that he's going to be some ego power tripping a-hole. What I'm saying is you may have to stay fit. You may have to do certain things sexually. You may have to do things that he wants that you wouldn't normally do or let a non-rich man tell you, okay? That's what I mean by that. And I'm not saying he's going to, chain you up in the basement and make you, wash clothes by hand. RD42547 Romeo. It's Paulina. Let me just say this. If you're a woman, your accolades, your accomplishments, your resume, men don't care about any of those things. They only care if you're nurturing, you cook, clean, and respectful, and if you're willing to fulfill your womanly responsibilities. Your accomplishments are meaningless to men just as much as a man looks are meaningless to you. And Romeo, if a man cares about a woman's accomplishments, accolades, etc., that woman needs to be prepared to pay for everything and or go 50-50, even though you make more. There is nothing wrong with a woman getting her bag, but she better be prepared to single out men that ain't at her level, and she better be prepared to be singled out by men that are at her level. Okay. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. When it comes to marrying for money, Morning, what's going on?
What's going on, Big Rome?
What up, brother?
Man, I'm dying at some of this thing that's going on with these women that are sitting there saying that they wouldn't do what a man says, man.
It's just because they don't understand. None of us have have never been in that position of being so rich that they just don't understand what that lifestyle is like.
Look, I'm not trying to keep you on the phone too long, 'cause I know you got other people you got to pick up. But check this out, okay? I was a dog when I was younger, okay? I'm 40 years old now. I was a dog when I was younger. I've always owned my own business, and there was time where I had so much money I didn't know what to do with it. There was times where I couldn't afford to put cheese on a cheeseburger, you know. So with that being said, I've had mechanic shops. I've had girls that would come in for tires, and you wouldn't believe the crap they would do just so they didn't have to pay for them tires. You know what I mean? And I also had girls that, dude, this was back in 2010. I had a 2006 BMW. I had girls that would just wash the BMW just because they wanted to drive in it.
Really?
You know what I mean? So, man, females sit there and they want to put themselves on a pedestal, right? And that's fine and dandy. Go for it. But don't sit there and act like you wouldn't sit there and do something for something. Well, you know what I mean? And especially...
One more thing. Every woman has their price of what they'll accept and what they want. Some women want a house in Rosedale. Some women want a house in Seven Oaks. Some women are okay with living, you know, in there where they grew up on the east side or whatever. Pick your spot. Every woman has a different price tag on what they will when they will start to accept things based on a monetary or a financial situation.
Now, I don't know, and I 100% agree with you, and I don't know if this can go on the air or not, but at the end of the day, as derogatory as it may sound, when it comes down to it, it all is prostitution, because if you stop providing, you don't get it no more. She'll go find somebody else who's paying. I mean,
that's an argument. People have made that argument. It's a legalized version of it, but yeah.
I mean, it's just like this. If you read or meet a girl in Lamont, she's happy if you got a Mercedes or a BMW. You meet a girl in Rosedale, and you pull up in a Koenigsegg or a McLaren, she's going to walk away from the BMW or Mercedes.
But you can't discount the fact that she brings something to the table. If you're a millionaire or multi-millionaire, and she doesn't want to work, and you ask her to go to the gym, you ask her to stay in great shape, you might ask her to have sex more than she normally would, or you might ask her to, I don't know what that may be. She's still providing something for you. It's not really prostitution. It's an exchange of what each other wants. You know what I'm saying? Because some guys just want a hot chick to roll around with, you know? And
some arm candy.
Yeah. So it's just, you know, it just is what it is. So
it is.
And adults get into relationships, and as long as you know what you're getting into, what is the problem? If you're rich, and you just want a hot woman who's gonna, you know, look good with you, make you look better, gonna be with you, do the things that you want to do, then what's wrong with that? You know? Alrighty, 4254777. It's Romeo's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valleys. Romeo, already 4254777. Marrying for money, right? What do you got here? Hey, Rome, why do men feel like they can rule and reign over their women? They did not create that woman. That's absolute BS. It makes no sense. That goes for both women and men. You're absolutely right. It does. But you're putting it in a negative context. What if it's not a negative context? You know, what if when I talk about rich men who marry women, these women marry these rich men for money, they know what they're getting into. For the most part, they want a woman who's going to be always look hot, always look sexy, maybe always done up. They want her to, you know, I mean, they might like sex more than the average, you know, man and husband and wife can have, because both of you work and you're tired and you got kids and all this stuff. I mean, it's a matter of perspective. When you say rule and reign, that has a negative connotation to it, right? But that's not necessarily what I'm talking about, okay? But I agree with what you're saying. RD4254777. Hey, Rome, what if it's the other way around? I make between 90 and 100 grand a year, and a female I'm talking to makes about 150 to 175. Does that mean she is in control of everything? No, it's not. But that's not the kind of money I'm talking about. You know, we're talking about millions. I'm talking about when you marry for money. And I know rich is a matter of perspective. with that kind of money you're talking, you guys are having a great life in Bakersfield, right? But you guys are basically on the same playing field at that point. You both go to work. You both make cash. It doesn't matter who makes more at that point. I'm talking about when a woman marries for money and this guy's rich, and she don't got to do nothing. But she's going to have to do some things that he wants for that lifestyle. But it doesn't necessarily have to be totally negative. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to get at. And there are women out there that are okay with that. RD4254777. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. What did you guys send me here? And yet again, Rome, Paulina is right. Paulina makes a lot of sense a lot of times. So you gotta give her some credit for yeah, she does make a lot of sense. Hold on, now I lost her. Let's see. Yet again, Romeo, Paulina is right, spot on, 100% right. These women that are boss babes shoot themselves in the foot by trying to level up, Rome. I'm broke, but my girlfriend makes twice as much money than me and pays for almost everything. Dating women that make money is the way to go, Romeo. I mean, if you want a woman to pay for everything, obviously you just have to deal with the arrogance and the ego, just like I think women. Do you think men who date women who make more money than them have to deal with more arrogance and ego out of the woman? Or do you think the woman that dates the man that makes more money has more arrogance and ego? Who do you think has more arrogance and ego when it comes to money, a woman or a man? Assuming they both make a good amount of money, like real money. Oh, that's a good question. But what I'm talking about money, I'm talking about rich. You know, I'm talking about, like, I have a friend. I have this guy I went to high school with. We went to college together. He ended up becoming some sort of investment banker, and he makes millions. And so a few years back, this was probably 10 years ago, I was in town and back home, and I called him up and I was like, hey, let's go have a couple of drinks. I just wanted to catch up with him, right? And he goes, oh, we'll go out to dinner, this spot, you know. We went to dinner. This place, when we pulled up, looked like office buildings. It wasn't near the restaurants and the bars in the downtown area. It was just in a dark area, looked like office buildings, you know. And I was like, wow, where are we going to dinner? No signage, no nothing. He goes, oh, don't worry about it. We pulled down into this parking lot, cars everywhere. Take an elevator up the floor from the parking lot. He has a key to get into a door. Opens a door, and there's a restaurant in there. No windows, no signage, just opens the door, there's a restaurant. Maitre d', hostess, whatever you want to call it. Maitre d' in that case, hostess. Hostess is for us poor people. Maitre d's for rich people. And we walk in. He goes, yeah, this is my spot. And it's packed. It's like Saturday night, it's packed. We walk in, we sit down. He asked me what I want. And I go, well, I need a menu. What do they got? He goes, oh, no, you just, whatever you want. They'll get it. Just, you want a steak, you want a fish, you want whatever, just tell them what you want and they'll make it for you. That's rich. Like, that's rich, right? Anybody ever been in that position before that I just talked about? I never knew that even existed until that moment. Rich people live on a level that you have no idea. So for any woman that sits there and says, Rome, I would never let a man tell me what to do. You'd be surprised when you're driving around in a car that costs more than a house, what you'll accept. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo talking about marrying for money, right? Good morning, Hot. What's going on?
Hey, good morning, Rome.
Hi, what's up?
Hi. So I did want to say, you know what? A lot of new money is what, that's who's arrogant, is what I've noticed. So if you've had money your whole life and you come from money, there's not a lot of arrogance there.
I agree. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So but thank you for sharing that story. That was interesting.
It was interesting to me too, going through it. All right. Hey, what's that?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, nothing. I didn't. Do you have more to say?
No. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye. RD4254777. Hey, Rome. I worked for a man who had lots of money, but the thing was, his young got a big reality check when he finally divorced his wife and had to start cooking and cleaning and not getting all the fancy trips and the secret dinners and all the things. He made her stay home and had her out. And he'd be out every Friday and Saturday, and she wasn't allowed to go anywhere without him. It would blow my mind. His young fiance got a big reality check when he finally. Okay. Well, yeah. That's not what I'm talking about. I understand there are a lot of men out there who are just jackasses that are gonna, ego and power trip and dictate and control, and I understand that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about there are a lot of women out there that marry for money and are just having breakfast and lunch right now with their friends after the gym, after the, but you got to keep up a certain, certain persona. You got to keep up a certain figure. You got to keep up a certain, idea, because that's what he wants, which I'm not talking about the cooking and cleaning and all that stuff, So that's why I say there's give and takes. Gives and takes. There's give and take when it comes to having a job, when it comes to marrying a man with money, when it comes to, and for these women that keep saying, I would never let a man tell me what to do. You're doing it right now. And your man doesn't have money and you're letting him tell you what to do, at least at some point. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. All right. Marrying for money. Let me see what you guys got here. Hey, Romeo. I was going to call myself Romeo. Romeo? Hey, it's Paulina again. Going back to the topic at hand, to an extent, a woman will accept anything. All these women that say, I won't accept stuff for men. It's okay, honey. Some other woman will. Either way, everything in this world has a price. A woman's nonsense goes out the window when you name their price. So if you're willing to accept it, if you're willing to accept it at your price, why don't you just be straightforward? I agree with that. There's a price for everything, even for you successful women out there who are out there running your own businesses and you got these big time jobs and you're making some legitimate money and you're enjoying your life. There's a price for that, right? So you're right, Paulina. You're absolutely right. But the thing that gets me, like you said, Pauline, when they say they won't accept stuff from a man, what gets me is there are the majority of you women listening right now are accepting something from your husband right now. And you don't even understand that why are you accepting it? You're accepting something you don't want to, and there's no money involved at all. You're just accepting it even though you don't want to. Why? When you don't have to. The problem with most people, you've conceded the fact that you're never going to be happy. You've conceded the fact that this is your life and it can't be better. If I go get another man, it's going to be the same thing. If I go get another woman, it's going to be the same thing. If I go get another relationship, it's just going to be the same thing. No, it's not. It can be different. You can be happier if you're not happy. If you're not 100% happy with the person you're with, you can find that person if you look deep inside and realize what it is you're looking for and what you're willing to do for that. Romeo, it's out 84.1. 84.1, the rhythm of the valley. Is Romeo says, hey, Rome, at the end of the day, all I gotta say is look at the crap P. Diddy and other artists put their significant others through. They have more money than any of us could fathom, and they got people to do stuff that they would never even thought they would ever do. Some of those people were couples. Some of them were just in long-term relationships. That security got them to put their guard down and do things that were unconscionable. So yes, everybody has a price. Everybody has their security, and they'll do anything not to lose it. And that's true. That's true. But because we're talking money, more money than we can fathom. I'm not even going that far. I'm just saying, what you're accepting things from your husband right now that you don't like. Why? You still got to get up and go to work every day. At least do it so that at least make your life a little easier. If you're going to accept things, you're still getting up paying half the rent, half the mortgage, paying your own car payment, putting in on the bills. I mean, you're still doing all that and you're still accepting what he does. So what does that say about you? As opposed to some woman who says, you know what, I'm going to marry a rich man. I'm going to have the easy life, up at 10, brunch with my friends, dinner with my friend, or breakfast with my friends, lunch with my friends, hanging out at the club, doing the pool, And I may have to accept he may not come home on time. I may have to hit the gym and look sexy for him. I may have to wear lingerie. I may have to do these things to keep this lifestyle because other women want to take it. But, you got to accept things sometimes. In all aspects of life, you accept some things for what you choose to do with your life. RD42547. I think women have more of an ego trip than men, Rome. Women have something to prove, and men just want to provide. Okay. All right. RD42547. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. When it comes to marrying for money, right? A lot of you think it's wrong. A lot of you, I'm sure a lot of you think it's okay as well. I think it's okay, right? You might have to accept some things that you normally wouldn't accept if he wasn't paying all the bills. But hey, it is what it is, man. I mean, it's the cost of doing business in life. But when I say that, you guys assume when I say that, though, that I mean you're not in love with each other. He may love you. You may fall in love. You may be. But if you're out here, if you're a woman looking for a man and you're only choosing men with money to date, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? You're still going to find things in common. You're still going to, you should still technically or theoretically, you should still fall in love with each other. I'm not telling you just marry a rich man so he can chain you to the house and, and tell you what to do all the time. I'm saying that there are women out there, but there's also a consequence to marrying a rich man. And I'll tell you what the real consequence is. You need to do things, and this is where a lot of you don't understand. You're not necessarily doing things that because he's telling you to do them. You're doing these things because you don't want the next woman to take him. And unfortunately, that's just life. RD42547. Hey, Rome, the same thing goes. Rich people order from the left side. Poor people order from the right. Yeah, it's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. RD42547. Hey, Rome, is it more of accepting or tolerating? Well, what's the difference? If your spouse is doing whatever they want and you're not okay with it, what's the difference? Accepting or tolerating? Tomato, tomato. RD42547. Rome, I cannot believe what I'm hearing. All these men calling in hate women. How can Paulina hate her own gender, Romeo? Let these women be. What are you talking about? You hate. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. RD42547. Romeo, I agree with the girl caller. None of the wealthy men I was with were arrogant, at least not to me. Not that I saw. They are about living relaxed and being super playful. Only arrogant guy I found was a Persian man and an Indian man. But like she said, they were new money and not nearly as rich. I see what you're saying. See, but that's where you guys are all thinking. And the problem, here's the problem. with a lot of you that are having this conversation in your head. You're not rich. You've never had the kind of money that we're talking about. So you're dealing with your husband who, might get drunk on a Friday night and you're mad about it, or might come home instead of coming right home, having a couple drinks with his buddies, or he might not pick up his boots or his shoes, or he might not do the dishes, or we're talking about things that rich people don't deal with. And that's why when we talk about rich men, like, I'll just give you an example. Okay, let's say you're marrying a man for money. All he asks from you, stay a size 4. I would like to have sex with you when I want or when you want. Cook and clean. Okay? And he doesn't really care how that gets done because he's got so much money. So you can hire maids to do it, right? And in return, you get to drive a nice car, live in a big house. He might have business trips that he has to roll out at spur of the moment, and he wants you to go with him. You just assume that every rich man is a jerk and controlling and possessive. You don't know very many rich men. You know middle-class working men who are insecure and jealous about your relationship. That's who you know. You think, does it look like Jeff Bezos and that Lauren Sanchez? Does it look like he's controlling? Now, maybe he is, but from a public perception, she looks like she's having the time of her life and doing whatever she wants. I'm just saying. Romeo, it's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. All right, 842-547-7. Exactly, Rome. These women out here accept cheating, accept having to go to work, going to the gym, having to accept certain things to keep their marriage/house afloat. And they paying half the mortgage, half the bills in the house, half the lifestyle. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, one woman have all the power in a relationship and doesn't use the power. Or one, women have all the power in the relationship, doesn't use the power. Two, marriage is a business. You as a woman need to negotiate terms and favor yourself in the marriage. Yeah, Hey, Rome, I'm starving. I should be getting something to eat, but here I am glued to the radio. Lord have mercy. RD42547-7. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1. Hot 94.1, the rhythm of the valley. It's Romeo. Talking about marrying for money. Everybody has a different opinion on it, right? Let's see what you texted me here. Hey, Rome, how about this? I'm not much of a flashy person, so I take a woman on a date. It was great. I didn't overexpose, wasn't trying to fully impress, but did put out some hints. But I didn't pick her up in my daily 2015 Honda Accord. Paid for our meal. Wasn't nowhere crazy, but we're able to converse and have a good vibe. I wanted to extend the date, but she decided she was tired. I didn't feel like I bored her at all. She seemed entertained and interested during the date. She ghosted me, and about a week later, she posted some other guy she went out with, but also posted his car, nice car, nothing over the top, but a very nice Lexus. I got curious, so a couple of days later, I posted the inside of my garage, clean lowrider and Cadillac C15, CT5. She was one of the first to view and responded, trying to hang out. And I was actually bugging to hang out and requested to be picked up in one of my cars, straight gold digger. If you ask me, well, that's a gold digger. Yeah, I can see why you would think that. But do you see the difference between a woman who's doing that? There was a date, you didn't have enough, she found somebody else. She wasn't dating, she didn't know. What I'm talking about is a woman who wants to marry money is going out with all the same guys who have money, okay? you're trying to be sneaky. And I'm going to be honest with you. You should have been a little more upfront. I know you guys think you're being slick because you think you're rooting out gold diggers by not showing what you have. It's kind of stupid, and I know dating's a lie, but I think you guys are wrong for that. Just show what you got. Play your hand, You never know. Even though she might have started out, or she might start out as a gold digger, as you put it, she might have been a great woman. You might have had a great relationship. People change their minds when they fall in love with people. Things happen. So that's on you, bro. I mean, what do you want? You want some are you Captain Save-A-Ho? You want some chick to roll in on you thinking you're broke, and then all of a sudden you drop, man, I got some money on me. Then what? Does that make you feel better about yourself? So I can ride with you to an extent, bro, but for the most part, you're doing it wrong. It's Romeo. It's Hot 94.1.